Walking Bad.
Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I will show you some new nodes to use. I will implement some functionality to restrict the agent to respond to every message coming in. If you're going to use the bot in a community chat, you don't want him to respond to every message. I will implement the following rules. Give only a response 80% of the time. Don't respond to a message that is a reply to another message. And always respond if the bot's name is called in the message. Last tutorial, I made a default agent with a personality, and I will use this agent to implement the new functionalities. First, I show you the group node. When you place nodes on a group node, you can move the group with all nodes together at once. This way you don't have to manually move each node separately when you want to move a group of nodes. I moved all the nodes of my default agent on a group, and you see, I can move all the nodes to another place at once. For the new functionality, I will place a new group node. I make it bigger. And give it another color. And I can also change the title of the group. I change it to response rules. This will be the group I place all nodes for the new functionality. Before you can put a node in the group, you must first put it outside the group and then move that node inside the group. I will place a gate node. I put it in the group. With this node, you can collect needed inputs from other nodes and route them to matching outputs. This way, you can use that node for all needed values you want to use in one node. You can connect input ports in two ways. To input to the gate input node, this will use the name of the connected ports as output port name, and add your own field with your own chosen port name. This way, when you connect a port, it will use your own name as output port name. And if not connected, you can enter values in the node themselves. I will place a all new message event node. From this node, I want to use a text to check if the text contains my bot's name, and use the reply to check if the message is a reply or not. I connect the text to the gate input 1 and connect the reply to the gate input 2. I add two fields, username as string and no reply value as number. You can enter the bot's name in the field themselves. But I will use a text node and use that as input for that port. I place a text node. You see the name of the port is text. Not a recognizable name to use if connected to the gate input port. I enter add material bot and connect the text port to the username. The no reply value has a default value of 0. I leave this value 0 because this is also the right value to check. A message is a reply if the reply to value is greater than 0. If you want the bot give a response 80% of the time, I need some randomizer. First I create two fields in the gate node. Random number as a number, and response threshold also as a number. This way I can check if the random value is breached threshold. I place a random number node. This node generates a random number between two numbers. I leave the setting as it is. With these settings it will generate a number between 0 and 100. I connect the result number port to the random number port. I make this bigger, then you can see the labels. And for the response threshold I enter the value 80. Now we have gathered all information we need in one place. I reorganized the nodes so it is better in the group. It is not necessary to use the gate, but this way I can showcase the usage of the node. I place a branch node. With this node you can evaluate two values to a condition, and it will result to a boolean true or false. First I make a check if the username is mentioned in the message. I connect the text to the left value and the username to the right value. I will choose contains. This way I can check if the text contains the username. If that's the case, the result will give true. I place another branch. I connect the reply to the left value and the no reply value to the right value. And I choose equal. It's the default. This will check if the reply to is equal to 0. I take another branch. I connect the random number to the left value, and the response threshold to the right value. Now I choose less than or equals. This checks if the random value is not reaching the 80%. I will place an endport. This port results to true if two conditions are met. This way I can check if the threshold is not breached and the message is not a reply. I connect the result port of the reply check to the input X port. And connect the result port of the threshold check to the Y port. Now I place an OR node. This port results to true if one of the conditions is met. Dus I connect the result port of the username to the X port. And the result of the end port I connect it to the Y port. This way, if the username is mentioned, it will always respond, even if the threshold is breached or the message is a reply. There's also a not node, we don't use it now, but this will give the opposite value of a boolean. False will be true and true will be false. And now I connect the result of the OR port to the on new message event success port. This way, when the on node is true, it will trigger the on new message event and the agent will respond in the chat. But before we test this bot, I want to see some result values of the text I made in the chat. So I place another group. Make it bigger. I place a long chain template. Make the group more bigger. Name it debug. I give it which color? The orange one. With this node, you can interpolate variable values in a template, and as a result, it gives the filled-in text. It's like the handlebars template, but it's a simpler version. I create 4 variables. Random number as number. Will answer as boolean. Is mentioned also as boolean. and is not reply. Also a boolean. I copy my template. I place a create message node. Connect the render text to the text. Also the success pods together. This way I can see if the bot is responding when the rules are met. Now I connect all these values together. I connect the random number to the random number field. They will answer with the result of the random number threshold check and the reply check. Connect to the is not reply pod. And lastly, the username check to the is mentioned pod. Now we are ready to test the agent. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the reply check, because you can't make a reply to a message in the chat at the moment. But if the agent is connected to Telegram and use him in these chats, you can make a reply. But I can show the randomizer part and what happens when you call the agent name in the message. I go to my chats. I add my agent and say hello. You see the agent has responded. The random number is 70 below the 80 and the will answer is true. He is not mentioned in the message and it is not a reply. That one will be always true because I cannot make a reply. And I added quickly another variable will respond to get the overall value, and that one is true, and you see he is responding. Now I try some more messages. Here you see that I mentioned him in the message. This is mentioned is true, but also the random number is below and equal 80. So he will always respond. This is a good example. The random number is 84. I mentioned him in the message. Normally he doesn't answer because of the random number, but because he is mentioned, he will respond. And now I didn't mention them. Random number is 100, above 80. He will not answer. He is not mentioned. And the will respond is false. And now he doesn't respond. In this tutorial, you learn to make use of the flow control and the math nodes. In the next tutorial, I will implement an on and off switch for the agent, so you can switch him on and off in the chat. Thank you for watching, until next time.